Why most people will never become wealthy. Money is not just paper. It is power, freedom, fear, status, survival. And yet, most people spend their entire lives chasing money, without ever understanding the psychology behind it. Because wealth was never just about intelligence. If it were, every hardworking person would already be rich. But they are not. Some people earn millions and still end up broke. Others quietly build fortunes without anyone noticing. So what separates them? It is not luck, not education, not even talent. It is behavior, the psychology of money. And once you understand it, you begin to realize something uncomfortable. The financial system was never designed to make everyone wealthy. In fact, most people are psychologically programmed to stay financially trapped forever. Part 1. Money is emotional, not logical. We like to believe we make rational financial decisions. But humans are not rational creatures. We are emotional creatures, trying to appear rational. Every financial decision you make is shaped by fear, insecurity, ego, comparison, trauma, social conditioning. Money is deeply psychological, and most financial behaviors are learned long before adulthood. A child who grows up in scarcity develops a completely different relationship with money than a child raised around abundance. One sees money as survival. The other sees money as opportunity. And this changes everything. Because your financial future is often determined not by how much money you make, but by the invisible beliefs you carry about money itself. Some people subconsciously believe rich people are evil, money is dangerous, wealth creates loneliness, success leads to pressure, and without realizing it, they sabotage themselves financially. Over and over again. Part 2. The most dangerous financial trap. Most people think poverty is caused by low income. But the real trap is lifestyle inflation. The moment people earn more money, they increase their expenses. A better car, a bigger apartment, luxury vacations, designer brands, and suddenly, the person earning $10,000 a month feels just as financially trapped as the person earning $3,000. Because wealth is not income. Wealth is what you keep. But modern society trains people to consume, not to own. The economy depends on people spending emotionally, not thinking strategically. That is why advertisements rarely sell products. They sell identity, status, validation, belonging. A luxury watch is not just a watch. It is social proof. A luxury car is not transportation. It is perceived importance. And most people are trapped in an invisible competition, trying to impress people who are equally insecure themselves. This is why many high earners never build real wealth. They confuse looking rich with being rich. And those are two completely different games. Part 3. The invisible power of compounding. The wealthy understand something most people ignore. Small behaviors, repeated consistently, become massive outcomes over time. This is the power of compounding. Not just financially, psychologically. Every habit, decision, emotional reaction compounds into your future life. Most people underestimate what happens over 10 years. Because humans are wired for short-term survival, not long-term thinking. We chase immediate pleasure, immediate dopamine, immediate results. But wealth rewards patience. The stock market is one of the greatest examples of this. Most people panic during downturns. The wealthy buy. Most people sell from fear. The wealthy think in decades. And this is why financial success often looks boring. No excitement, no constant stimulation, just discipline, consistency, and emotional control. Because money is not a game of intelligence, it is a game of behavior. Part 4. Why the middle class stays trapped. The middle class is taught a dangerous formula. Go to school, get a stable job, work hard, save money, retire safely. But the modern economy has changed. Inflation quietly destroys savings. Assets rise faster than salaries. Housing becomes increasingly unaffordable. And many people work harder than ever while falling further behind. Because income alone no longer creates wealth. Ownership does. The wealthy own businesses, assets, stocks, systems. The average person sells time. And time has limits. This is one of the harshest realities of modern capitalism. If you stop working, your income stops. But when wealthy people stop working, their assets continue producing money. This is why financial freedom is not about working harder. It is about escaping dependence on labor itself. And most people never realize this until decades have already passed. Part 5. Fear controls most people. Fear is the hidden force behind almost every financial decision. Fear of failure, judgment, uncertainty, losing status, looking stupid. This is why people stay in jobs they hate, why they avoid investing, why they never start businesses, why they remain stuck for years. The human brain values certainty over opportunity, even painful certainty. And financial systems exploit this psychology perfectly. Debt creates dependence. Consumerism creates distraction. Social media creates comparison. And comparison destroys rational thinking. Because once people begin comparing lifestyles, they stop thinking long-term. They start performing financially instead of building strategically. The wealthy understand something critical. Freedom matters more than appearance. And that changes how they use money entirely. Part 6. Money and status. Humans are status-driven creatures. Much of modern spending is social signaling. People buy things to communicate value to others. This behavior is ancient. Status once determined survival, mating opportunities, social protection. Today, status has become financial performance. But social media amplified this to extreme levels. Now people compare themselves globally, every single day. Luxury is constantly visible. Success becomes performative. And millions of people begin chasing lifestyles they cannot actually afford. This creates an endless cycle. Work, consume, compare, repeat, and many never escape it. Because the system rewards emotional spending, not financial intelligence. The truly wealthy often behave differently. They optimize for ownership, leverage, optionality, freedom, not validation. Because real wealth is often invisible. Part 7. The psychology of risk. Most people misunderstand risk completely. They think, investing is risky. Entrepreneurship is risky. Change is risky, but staying financially stagnant may be the greatest risk of all. Inflation is risk. Dependence is risk. Lack of skills is risk. No ownership is risk. The wealthy are not fearless. They simply understand probability better. They know short-term volatility often creates long-term opportunity, but emotional people panic during uncertainty. This is why markets transfer wealth constantly, from emotional participants to disciplined participants. And this principle applies far beyond investing. Emotion destroys decision-making. Calmness creates advantage. Part 8. The real purpose of money. Most people spend their lives chasing money, without asking why. But money itself is not the goal. Money is a tool. Its real value is freedom. Freedom to control your time, choose your environment, protect your family, pursue meaningful work, live without constant fear. But modern culture confuses wealth with consumption. So people sacrifice health, relationships, peace of mind just to display success externally. And many wealthy-looking people are financially fragile underneath. The truly wealthy often prioritize peace, time, flexibility, autonomy, because eventually, people realize something profound. The highest luxury is not owning more things. It is owning your own life. In conclusion, the psychology of money is ultimately the psychology of human behavior. Money amplifies who people already are. Fearful people become more fearful. Insecure people become more performative. Disciplined people become freer. And emotionally intelligent people often become financially powerful over time. Because wealth is rarely built overnight. It is built quietly, through patience, emotional control, long-term thinking, ownership, discipline. The financial world is filled with noise. Everyone promises shortcuts, fast money, instant success. But history repeatedly shows that sustainable wealth follows different rules. And perhaps the greatest financial advantage of all is learning to think differently, while everyone else reacts emotionally. Because in the end, money is not just a financial game. It is a psychological one. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to WealthOS for more documentaries on wealth, power, AI, and the hidden psychology behind modern society.